so many of us have loved ones and friends who are fighting cancer or maybe we've had cancer ourselves, God forbid. What do you see as the future? Will we get to a place where this will be less of a phenomenon?
I graduated medical school here at Hadassah in 1998. So the area of oncology was completely different. And I think it's amazing what happened during this time. Because in the one absolutely new ground in the field of oncology was developed during this time, and it is immunotherapy. What does it mean? We are using our own immune system to fight cancer. So we have some commercial drugs, and they are already approved by Health Basket. But I think the future is to develop these live drugs. Okay, so we are taking the cells, we can modify them, we can do some genetic modification, and we can give them back. So finally, I hope, and it looks like we are able to develop these drugs for any kind of oncogen, any kind of protein, which are expressed by cancer cells. So I think it is the future, and it is something small that we are as researchers can also to do by ourselves. Because usually we are dependent from pharmaceutical companies. We are completely dependent of them, of the development and clinical trials, etc. And in this case, we were able to do something by ourselves.
Now, aside from your work in combating cancer, you've actually played a pretty key role, from what I understand, in the lives of children from the former Soviet Union. Tell me a little bit about your life-saving work treating children who suffer from rare diseases, one I understand that can cause blindness, deafness, eventually death.
Yes, so it was like first part of my career. I arrived to Israel in 1990 from Ukraine. At least now people started to understand that Russia and Ukraine is not the same. But for sure, I was already 22 years old, so my Russian is absolutely fine. And when I graduated medical school and started to do my residency and my fellowship in pediatrics, hemato-oncology, immunology, I was very interested in rare, unknown genetic diseases. One of them is osteopetrosis. Osteopetrosis, what does it mean? Osteo is bone, petros is stone. So the name is petrifying bones. Why it happened? Okay, so so the problem that we have in our bone two kinds of cells: osteoblasts and osteoclasts. Osteoblasts building our bone all the time. So osteoclasts, they're supposed to destroy our bones. And in the case of osteopetrosis, osteoclasts are not functional. So it is a cause why these children finally they are blind and deaf. And
the bones lead to blindness?
Yes. How it can be? Because, we have an optic nerve, which is responsible for our vision. In this case, the optic nerve is it is within the hole in our skull, and the bones closing this hole. This is the cause, okay? Because the bones are growing and growing and growing, and finally they are blocking the hole where our optic nerve supposed to come, okay? So, and the one single treatment which can be curative is bone marrow transplantation. Why? Because when we are changing bone marrow, we are changing also all bone marrow producing cells. One of them are osteoclasts. So we are replacing the abnormal osteoclast with normal one. And in this case, I started with our Palestinian patients who came to us from Palestinian Authority, because they have a very high rate of consanguinity, they have many genetic disorders. So they came to us with this disease. And we started to develop our own protocol of transplantation in this disease, which was very successful. And after it, the children from former USSR, they started also to come to us for this treatment, because they have in Russia some endemic area, Chuvashia. They don't have consanguinity, but it is a very close area for many years. So it is a cause why the gene of osteopetrosis is very common in this area. And they have many children who were born and didn't have any solution. So they found us and they came to Hadassah.
They came from there to here to receive treatment.
Exactly. And we treated them. And our results are very good. I think we have one of the best results around the world on the international basis. We published many papers about it, about our approach to osteopetrosis, about our approach to genetic diagnosis of osteopetrosis, about our protocol of treatment. So yes, we have a long-standing experience. We treated, I think, more than 110 patients already with osteopetrosis.
You speak a lot, about how much you love Hadassah, and it comes out so clearly in our conversation even now. For you, what is it that makes Hadassah so unique, and why do you enjoy working here so much?
I think, we have something very special at Hadassah. I graduated here medical school, okay? And I remember when I started, it was my dream. Wow, I want to work here because, we are treating equally all people, regardless of the origin, religion. And during this not so easy time and unstable time, we have a privilege because we are coming to work and we are doing our best. And it's absolutely not important what is the political thoughts, our political thoughts and our approach and our faith and beliefs. It's not important because we are treating the patients. And Hadassah was established before the state of Israel. Okay, so I think there's something the state of Israel even can learn from Hadassah. Okay, how we can be all together and do something for the good, for the good. Okay, for the good of world, for the people, to help them. And I have in my team people from different backgrounds. I have Arabs and I have members of LGBT community. I have Russian speakers. I have for sure Israelis, and religious, non-religious. But it's so good to see how we are working together. And it is amazing. We are doing it in our usual clinical work, but not only. We are doing it in research, in different aspects of our work, in the teaching of the students. I think it is something that I really love to come every day to this place.
Our listeners are not going to believe this, but what I understand is that when you were thinking about becoming a doctor, you were actually kind of turned away from that and told that only geniuses go to medical school. Our listeners, again, are going to be shocked because I think probably they will think you are one of those geniuses. But, you ended up doing it. You are here today. So what advice first of all, what happened? And second of all, what advice would you give to young people who might think, like you, that they can't do it?
So first of all, you have to believe in yourself, okay? And you have to believe that if you want to do something, it's possible to do with big investment, knowledge, hard work, definitely hard work. And I know that in Israel it's possible to do because we have many, many opportunities and you have to take these opportunities. When I arrived to Israel, the people told me, no, you will never be a physician, forget about it. So I went to nursing school. I graduated nursing school here in Israel. And already when I graduated nursing school, my Hebrew was much better. So I started to understand that maybe I'm able also to go to medical school. And I started medical school here at Hadassah and I continued. And, on the different stages of my career, I knew that I'm doing the right thing. Okay, because I'm trying to help the people. I'm trying to develop my research. I'm coming every day to my work and I see so suffering patients. So everything what I'm able to do is only to do better for them. And you have to believe, not only to speak and to cry, it's bad, nobody doesn't help me, they don't believe in me. Okay, you have to believe in yourself and to do by yourself. And finally, you have to believe that the majority of people around you are good people and they want to help. So I think in Israel, we have very good ground and, it's possible to do everything.